Okay, so this is Hydroponics 101, and this is just the nutrient tank. It's really not that much to it. We have our 2-inch line. Our rail system goes all the way down the front, drains into the 2-inch line, which drains back into the tank. There's a slight slope to this, maybe an inch or two, not much, but the water will naturally just run down. So inside the tank, and you don't need a lot of components. This is just a 15-gallon bucket that I got at Home Depot. I chose black because it is a little cooler here, and the sun on the black can kind of help heat up the water a little bit. And you never want clear because you don't want any light on the nutrients. And then I actually bought two, so I have a spare base if I need to change it out. This just sits on here, so that can come off, and these can come off. What we have here also is we have an air pump. So we're just putting some air in the system here, and then this is just the power line for the tank, and then this is the water coming out. You'll notice there's a valve here, and I'll explain why in just a second. So the reason I bought two was because I wanted to be able to cut this in half, but I needed the piece to go past, so I'm not allowing light to go inside. So when we open it up, the way it works is there's a pump which is called an Echo 370. They also make an Echo, I think 298 and an Echo 178, I think. So this pump is really more than this needs, and that's why I had to put a valve here. The pump is adjustable, and I have it turned all the way down. But what was happening is it was pushing too much water in the system, and it couldn't drain fast enough, so then it would overflow. So what you really want, because when you plant your plants, you're going to have the roots down below, so you want your water level about that high right there. So when you're first putting this together and you put it in there, you can see where your water level is. If you're pumping too much water, it's going to start raising up, and then it'll overflow and you're losing nutrients. So there is some adjustment here. It has a little larger pump because anywhere along this line, there's another style called a Dutch bucket. And what a Dutch bucket does is it uses perlite, and the plant would go in there and the water would go in, and then it would pump back in here. So anywhere along this way, if I wanted to do some kind of Dutch bucket with some other kind of plants, I could do that. It would just be a matter of tapping into this and then running a water feed to go in the bucket. So what it does is the water comes down after it's all gone through the system and drains back into the tank. So it's draining in on this side, and then the pump is way over here on the other side. Let's see if I can unplug it here a second. So the pump is way over here on the other side. So we're actually circulating the water in the tank. And then I have a couple air stones, and the air stones are placed right by the pump. So they're keeping the water aerated, and it's sucking up that water, coming through the hose, and then coming back up here with the adjustment here as well. But it's just a little pump, little Echo 370. They're pretty inexpensive. I think about $20 on eBay or Amazon, and then the bucket is only about $10. So it's really the tank part of it. There's not much to it. Probably the biggest part of it is your nutrient solution, which I will make a couple of videos on a couple different nutrient solutions that I use. The water level will go down in time. The bigger the plants get, and the hotter it gets out, the quicker the water level will go down. Currently, I'm only having to add about 4 gallons a week of the nutrient solution, which is pretty easy. You mix it up, you balance your pH, and you put it in there. Some people may ask, why do you do hydroponics? I do dirt farming, and I also do hydroponics. The nice thing about hydroponics, you can get your nutrient solution just perfect for the plant. You can get your temperature right where the plant likes it, you get your pH right where the plant likes it, and then you never have to worry about overwatering it because it lives in water. So it does make it fairly easy. In this climate, you can have weird periods where things get really cold. I do have a little heater underneath the tank if I need to heat up the water just a little bit. Not very often I need to do that. Or if we're going to get some freak snow, I could always just pull the plants out of the cups and then put them in a nutrient solution in the garage where they would be out in the snow. Put the caps on there, and we'd be good to go. So that's all there is to the tank. There really isn't that much to it. The pump comes with the fitting. You do have to buy a little bit of vinyl hose, which that's insignificant as far as pricing. And that's all there is to it. Very, very simple system. Works great. Just keep your nutrients in there and you're fine.